This is Mamuni. Thank you so much for being Amar Baba.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to discuss how to solve a single column cash book problem. So let's get started. Chalo, shuru kora jak. So here is the problem. Let's go through the problem. Cash book, single column. Enter the following transactions in a single column cash book. Always remember, single column cash book does not record checks received and checks paid. Okay, please remember, cash book only records cash transactions. So let's go through the transaction. This is the column of date, this is the column of transactions, and this is the column of amount. On 1st April, cash in hand 6,000. So cash in hand means opening balance. So there is no need of journal entry. We'll have to write in the cash book on the debit side to balance BD 6,000. Why? Because opening balance of cash is given in the problem. Okay. So let's write. So 1st April to balance BD. BD means brought down. How much? 6,000. Okay. So there is no journal entry for the first transactions since the opening balance is given in the problem. So there will be no narration as well. Okay. Now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 5th April, opened a bank account and deposited office cash therein 4,000. So what is the journal entry for the second transaction? The journal entry will be bank account debit to cash account. So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, bank account will also appear on the credit side. So we'll have to write by bank account in the cash book on the credit side. Okay, so let's write. 5th April by bank account. How much? 4,000. Moreover, cash book is a real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. When cash is deposited into bank, cash goes out from the business. So 4,000 will be credited. Understood? Let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 8th April, purchase stationery 1,000. So what will be the journal entry? Stationery account debit to cash account. What is the position of cash? Since cash is on the credit side, stationery will also be on the credit side. So we'll have to write by stationery account in the cash book on the credit side. Okay, so let's write 8th April. By stationery account, by stationery account. So on 8th April, by stationery 1,000. Cash book is nothing but merely a cash account. Cash book comes under real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. Here, when stationery is purchased, cash goes out from the business. So 1,000 will be credited. Understood? Now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 10th April, bought goods for cash 5,000. So what is the journal entry? The journal entry is purchases account debit to cash account 5,000. So what is the position of cash? Since cash account is on the credit side, purchases will also be on the credit side. So we'll have to write by purchases account in the cash book. Okay, so let's write 10th April. By purchases account. Always ignore goods. I've already told you. Instead of goods, we'll have to write purchases, or instead of goods, we'll have to write sales. Okay. By purchases account 5,000. Moreover, cash book is a real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. Here, when goods are purchased, cash goes out from the business. So, 5,000 will be credited. Okay, let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 15th April, purchased office furniture and paid by check 3,000. So, what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be furniture account debit to bank account. See, check is mentioned here. I have already told you, single column cash book does not record checks received or checks paid. কেন হয় না সেটা বুঝিয়ে দিচ্ছি. See, what is the journal entry? Furniture account debit. Furniture account debit to bank account. Furniture account debit to bank account. See, cash আছে? There is no cash account on the debit side as well as on the credit side. Debit side ও কোনো cash account নেই, credit side ও কোনো cash account নেই. So how will you record this journal entry? In order to record in the cash book, there has to be a cash account either on the debit side or on the credit side. But here there is no cash account. Debit side ও কোনো cash account নেই, credit side ও কোনো cash account নেই. তাহলে how will you record journal entry in the cash book? Cash book এ record করতে গেলে, please understand, cash book এ record করতে গেলে debit side এ একটা cash account হতে হবে or credit side এ cash account হতে হবে. Either there will be a cash account on the debit side or on the credit side. এখানে ডেবিট সাইডেও ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট নেই, ডেবিট সাইডে কি আছে ফার্নিচার অ্যাকাউন্ট, ক্রেডিট সাইডেও কোনো ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট নেই, ক্রেডিট সাইডে কি আছে ব্যাঙ্ক অ্যাকাউন্ট. সো হাউ উইল ইউ রেকর্ড this journal entry? We can't record this journal entry. You should know the reasons also. I've already told you, single column cash book does not record checks received and checks paid. Why? This is the reason. Debit side এ cash account হতে হবে or debit side এ না থাকলে credit side এ হতে হবে. কোথাও একটা cash account থাকতে হবে. Then only you can record the journal entry. যদি debit side এও cash account না থাকে বা ক্রেডিট সাইডেও ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট না থাকে তাহলে সিঙ্গেল কলাম ক্যাশ বুকে রেকর্ড করা যাবে না. হ্যাঁ, এটা কোথায় রেকর্ড হতো? সি, ব্যাঙ্ক অ্যাকাউন্টে হতো. যদি ডাবল কলাম ক্যাশ বুক হতো, একটা ব্যাংকের কলম হতো, সেখানে we could have easily written by furniture account. Understood? Had it been a double column cash book, we would have easily record this journal entry by writing on the credit side by furniture account. Since bank is on the credit side, furniture will also be on the credit side. Kintu, we are doing a single column cash book. So, on the debit side, there is no cash account. On the credit side, there is no cash account. So, this won't appear in the cash book. So, reason ta to jante hobe. I've already told you, single column cash book does not record checks received or checks paid. But what is the reason behind it? This is the reason. Instead, you'll have to write a short note below the single column cash book. So, what will you write? See. Note, there will be no journal entry in the cash book for the purchase of office furniture and paid by check on 15th April 2022, since cash book only records cash transactions and cash book does not record checks received or checks paid. Okay, so let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 20th April, cash sells 17,000. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be cash account debit to sales account. What is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the debit side, sales account will be also on the debit side. So we'll have to write two sales account in the cash book on the debit side. Okay, so let's write 20th April, two sales account 17,000. And moreover, cash book is a real account. So according to real account, what comes in is debit. Here, when goods are sold, cash comes into the business. So 17,000 will be debited. Understood? So let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 25th April, cash withdrawn for personal use 5,500. So what will be the journal entry? I have already taught you in the chapter journal all the personal expenses or the private expenses of the proprietor will be termed as drawings. Do you remember? So here the journal entry will be drawings. Drawings account debit to cash account. Okay. What is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, drawings account will also be on the credit side. We'll write by drawings account in the cash book on the credit side. Okay. So let's write 25th April. By drawings account 5,500. Moreover, cash book is a real account. So according to real account, what goes out is credit. So 5,000 will be credited. And one more thing, you will always have to write narration after every journal entry. Okay, you'll have to write narration after every journal entry. You got to write, otherwise marks will be deducted. Okay, after every journal entry, you'll have to write narration, otherwise marks will be deducted. And moreover, cash book serves the purpose of a journal. So that is the reason, see, we have written ledger folio. Cash book serves the purpose of a journal because we are writing straight away chronologically in the cash book. And cash book also serves the purpose of a ledger. That is the reason format of the cash book is almost like the ledger account, except V number and ledger folio. Instead of ledger folio, ledger account has journal folio. Okay. So let's see the last transaction. The last transaction is on 30th April, paid office rent 2,500. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be rent account debit to cash account. So what is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, rent account will also be on the credit side. So we'll have to write by rent account on the credit side in the cash book. Okay, so let's write 30th April by rent account. How much? 2,500. Okay. Moreover, cash book is a real account, and according to real account, what goes out is credit. So here, when rent is paid, cash goes out from the business. So 2,500 will be credited. Understood? We'll have to calculate the total of the debit column and the total of the credit column. So let's do it. So the total of the debit column is 23,000 and the total of the credit column is 21,000. The rule is whichever is greater, we have to write on both sides. Since the total of the debit column is 23,000, which is greater than the total of the credit column, which is 21,000. So the rule is whichever is greater, we have to write on both sides. But there is a shortfall on the credit side. So we'll have to balance the credit side by writing by balance CD. So there is a shortfall on the credit side. So we'll have to write by balance CD because this is the balancing figure. By balance CD. What is the balancing figure? Total of credit column is 21,000 and the total of debit column is 23,000. So deduct 21,000 from 23,000, you'll get 2,000. So this is the closing cash of the business and the date will be the last day in the month of April. Jodi eta May hoto, tale 31st May hoto. Okay, cash. Now this closing cash will become the opening cash. So we'll have to write by balance CD means carried down. This will be brought down on the very next day. To balance BD. How much? Same amount. This amount. 2,000. The date will be the very next day. May 1st. See now the total of debit column is 23,000 of credit column is also 23,000 after we have written the balancing figure. So we have balanced the cash book. Okay? I hope you understood. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your precious time. I sincerely hope this was helpful. And before I fade out, please remember, we all have dreams. But some dreams come true and some dreams don't. Why? Because dreams don't work unless we work. So, work harder every day. Bye bye. Take care, stay safe, and stay blessed always.